Hey, everybody. Hello, come on in. Thanks for joining us for our weekly wholesale meetup. Today, we are going to be playing with the new Lavinia release. It's not even up on the website yet. Am I correct in that, Emily? It's about to be up tomorrow. We're going to have it up, but it just came in the warehouse. So I had a chance to play with it, and I thought you guys might like a little bit of a sneak peek. We can preamble or whatever, but as more people join, maybe give a few minutes. We have tons of new stuff coming up in the warehouse, lots of new stuff available for pre-order. The new Art by Marlene Advent calendar just came up for pre-order, so scoop that up. I'm positive that one's going to go so quickly. So if you wanted to grab some of those Advent calendars, they look so cute, so fun. Classic Art by Marlene style and full of 25 different surprises, stamps, dies, what have you. I think I even saw paper as one of the little Advent windows. So that'll be really fun. You're definitely going to want to stock up on those. But let me flip us over so that we can take a look at the new Lavinia. I think you're really going to love it. Here we go. So Lavinia has come out with the new gel printing presses. So nice and thick. I love the little names for the Lavinia products. They've named these Square Lee printing press, a nice little square gel press. And then we've got a really cool, they've called it Bob Long, but a nice kind of slimline style jelly, nice and thick. So these are made from, it's not made with rubber latex. So, anybody who's allergic to that, we're all good. Doesn't contain any animal products and non-toxic. So we can create so many fun different backgrounds with these. They also have released an ellipsical one. So here I've already opened these two, and I haven't played with the oval one yet. So we open it up. It has two pieces of I guess acetate kind of thing, plastic acetate that we can peel off. And let me get these out of the way. And we can put it on a glass surface, on a mat. We could even put it on the face of a stamping press if we wanted to. And put it right on there, and then that actually gives you the ability to flip it around really easily if you want while you're working with it and printing with it. It's a nice way to use it. So we will play with these in a little bit, and I just wanted to give you a quick look at, I pulled some of my favorite stencils that I saw. They've got some really large scale background stencils. I don't know if it says the size on here. I know someone's going to ask me, and I should have already measured it. And now, of course, there's my ruler buried under here. They are, I don't know, they're really large. Almost 8 by 8. So you can do tons of fun stuff, get different sections and variety along in there to kind of use half or whatever. Some really fun designs. Pretty, some leaves. Really lovely flower petals here. So these are all going to be up online. They do look like orange slices, Alicia. That's so funny because I did a little print. I'll show you. I did a little print using the gel press with them. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do a little bit of a lime sentiment, a lime slice. This one kind of messed up. It was one of my practice ones. But how cute is that? You're totally right. Citrus, very citrus. Okay, and then with this same release, they have some little mini stencils, which are lots of fun. We'll play with this guy. There's two leaves, an oblong leaf and kind of a shorter leaf. And lots of little sentiments too. So this one says, with love, just for you, birthday wishes, the classics, hope, happiness, faith. Just some nice ones, art from the heart, some kind of lovely little sentiments there. So a lot of variety, with this Lavinia release and a lot of fun new stuff. So let's dive into the gel press here. I guess the printing press. Oh, we got a question. Dimensions for the mini ones. They will be up on the product listings, but I only have the flower with me right now. I just dug it off the top of the box from the warehouse. About 4.25 inches by 4.25 inches. And we'll let you know about the leaves for sure. Oh, folded in half. A great idea as a little clam. Yeah, perfect size for smaller cards, Sue. I'm really excited about this one. Okay, so let's play around with these gel presses. There's so many different products that we can use with these, and it really is like grab one just to play around with, even just to have as like a little demo one, and try all different kinds of things. I will show you what I've been playing around with, but the possibilities are endless with these guys. So right now, what have we got? We've got a little bit of, I was using some of the Cosmic Shimmer paint. That's a lot of shimmer in that. And let's just put it on. I haven't used the oval one yet, so let's see what happens. So we can do a really fun little background. You can glob a little bit on here, and you don't need a lot of paint. You don't need it, but you can absolutely use more and get a little bit of a different effect. So again, play around with it. I'll give you a little bit of a demo here today. But play around with the products that you're carrying and that you're using in your shop to get a feel for it. So it doesn't take much, as you see. So roll it on in different directions. You can get, we could do kind of like an ombre look if we wanted. This one's going to be a little bit more abstract. And we can roll off, which even creates, I'm using a brayer, and even just the like scrap paper that I'm using to get rid of all the excess is going to be a great piece to work with as well, whether you use it as a background or use it to die cut or what have you. So it's nice to get a little bit of a layer on here. And I love these colors together. That was the topaz in the shimmer paint and the pink plum, really pretty. So let's just give it a wipe on there. So you can make it thin. I'm going to make it thin for this one, and then we'll do a thick one. How about? And you can see just the different looks that it's going to give. Okay, so there we've got it. Now let's go on with our flower and kind of maybe offset it a bit on here. So we're going to do the printing press kind of technique that Lavinia has demonstrated. So I'm just set the stencil on there. These are little acrylic paints. And how do you make it pretty thin with the paint? I'm just like kind of rolling off any excess paint and rolling it back on. Okay, so now we've got our color down. Now to give it a little bit of kind of like a printed look, what I'm going to do is I'm just taking some black acrylic paint, and I actually have done it with the graphite too, in the shimmer paint as well. Does the same thing. I just grabbed the black first. Same deal. And just using a blending, like a smoothie, just picking up some of that. I guess you can't really see that. I'm too far off the screen, aren't I? Just picking up some of that black acrylic paint. And we're just going to tap it on around our stencil. So over top, so we've got a base layer of color there. And then we've laid our stencil over top so that it kind of traps that color underneath where the stencil's covering. And then we're just tamping in some black here, making sure I kind of get it in the nooks and crannies, because you're going to see the effect here in a minute, and it's cool. So this is the like Lavinia, like actual stamping press technique. So, and she has a great video on it too, if you wanted to check it out. And I'm going to use some of the Lavinia multifarious cardstock, but I also used it just with like our EC cardstock, our classic cardstock, normal, nothing fancy about it. I mean, it is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but just any smooth cardstock. And I'm just going to lay it over top. And this could even be a scrap, because really what we're doing is we're just picking up that paint. We're just kind of getting rid of it as we build our layers. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy for this one. Pick up as much of that as I can. You can even go back in on the other side just to pick up a little bit more. Which, like, that in itself, quite a cool kind of looking print. I don't know if you can see the actual like line work in there, but obviously, well, it's not the look I'm going for. So we're going to continue on with this effect. And I'm just going to grab some tissue paper or paper towel and just dab up the excess black while it's still wet, while that paint is still wet. Dab up all the excess. And what's going to kind of happen is the paint sneaks under the stencil, and it's going to give us a really cool look. Okay, that should be pretty good. Pretty. So pull it up, and I don't know if you can see kind of like the stenciled look there. So we've got that. Now we're going to clean off our brayer, let that dry. We want it to kind of set in there so that we can, I'm just using a baby wipe to get this off, but you could run it under the tap or whatever. It's just water-based acrylic paint. So we're letting that layer dry up. And we shall see how it turns out. Letting it dry, cleaning that off, getting the color off of there. Okay, pretty clean, pretty clean. And let's see what I've got over here. Some of the stencils. Giving that a second. Come on. So we can do this technique with all kinds of different acrylic paints. We can do it with any of the Cosmic Shimmer polishes. Tons of different things. You can't even really see it on there until you can see our studio lights. There you go. Good view, good tour of the studio. Okay, and then I'm going to come in. I want to make sure it's fully dry. Okay, come in with some shimmer paint in the Pearl. I might have put a little bit too much on there. Where's my palette knife? I can always add more. So we're just going to do a thin layer of the white. And so what's going to happen is as we spread this on, it's going to reactivate that paint that's just dried. And it's going to stay. The idea is that it stays in its place. And then we can pick it up with our paper. So roll that on there, kind of back and forth. Nice smooth, like you can do it smooth, you can do it kind of messy and more abstract. You can do whatever you want. And it really just depends on how much you're playing around with it. The size of your brayer, you can use any size to get different effects. This is just our Nelly one, and I don't even think we have very many in stock right now. But anyways, that's the one I had. Okay, now we're going to pick that up with our paper, just lightly smoothing over that. 2 in stock. So if you need a brayer, you better order it now. I'll talk to Dennis, we'll get more. Pressure's on, I hope it worked. Oh, there we go. A really pretty kind of background, subtle little look, but you can see the stamped effect. So you can do it with brighter colors and different effects. Try it with some different stencils, but you get that kind of stamped look, kind of grungy look. And then we can go over top I mean, I think that's pretty well it for that print. Depending on the products you use, you can get like, yeah, that was pretty clean. You can get more than one print from it. But then of course you can go on, stamp your little sentiments around and what have you. So a lot of fun. You can see the color that was hidden behind the mask. Here's a couple different ones I did. You can see here, I didn't wait long enough for the black to dry and it kind of smudged out and about. Let's see. This was my favorite one. And I love kind of how light it is, a lovely little background. But you can definitely check out the Lavinia video. She is much more of a pro at it than I am, but that is the technique. I just started it today, so I do need more practice, but I mean, a lot of fun, and I can definitely see where it's heading. Okay, now wash up our brayer again. Again, the water-based products are great. It's easy to just wipe off with baby wipe. I actually, for that, I used the multifarious cardstock from Lavinia, but I have also done the same technique with just our regular cardstock. Lavinia recommends their multifarious paper for it. I don't see a huge amount of difference, if I'm being honest, versus regular cardstock. So play around with it. If you're just practicing, especially, I wouldn't worry about any special paper. Did I do the sample ones? Yeah, the sample ones. This one's done with regular cardstock. So, and then this is the multifarious. I don't see much of a difference. Emily can link it in the website. I don't know how to spell it off the top of my head. Oh, I've got it right here. I have the pack right here. There, multifarious. Can you see that? multifarious. It's really soft, gorgeous paper to work with. Matte, love it. There you go. Okay. So another technique, let's use a different shape here for this. We can, of course, we could be using any kind of stencil whatsoever. So we don't just have to use these to do that printing technique from Lavinia. We can use it to just stencil onto. So again, super fun. I'll just layer my stencil on there. And I really loved it with the neon polish. I think that this is a really fun product because it keeps that like jelly look that the gel press makes me think of, because the neon polish is kind of jelly itself. So let's put a little glob of that on there. So this is just the Cosmic Shimmer neon polish. Oh, I can see my dog's hair on there. Oh my God. Okay. And then the stencils stick really well onto the gel press. They just kind of hold in place. And you can see how it keeps that really cool jelly look. Rolling over one of the Lavinia stencils. And we can really pack it on if we want. As with the paint, like you can just add a ton of product if you want. It's going to squidge more, right, when we take the print of it, but especially with this neon polish, I kind of like the effect. So let's do that. You can see, keep those globs on there, different thicknesses in different areas. You can achieve that just by kind of rolling in different directions. And let's take a sheet of our cardstock and just lightly rub over top. I don't know. I don't know about that one. See, it's just nice to play around. Like I got a perfect print before. Why? What's the difference? I don't know. I don't know yet. work it in there, maybe press down a little harder. There we go, a really cool kind of jelly look. Play around. Oh, I know what I did. I'm just stupid and haven't had lunch yet. I didn't pull the stencil off. Come on, sorry guys. Okay, roll that on. Duh, roll it on. My goodness. Okay. There. Pull the stencil off. Look at that. Print. Now we pick it up with our paper. Just lightly kind of smoothing it on there. Rubbing it in. And look at that. I should have pressed a little harder on there. But look at that. And then we still have more to pick up if we want to make another print. Of these little lime slices. And abstract looking and really fun to build on top of. So here's just a plain print of the neon polish without the without any stencil or anything. And I just love the kind of jelly neon look of it. Okay, now I want to show you, oh, here's one I did with the shimmer paints and just tapped over top with bubble wrap. Why don't we do that? It's an easy one. Let's try that. And we will use the oblong shape on here and just get a nice, let's get some nice shimmer paints. So just wiping that neon polish off. There we go. So we can layer on top of all of these things as well. Once these things are dry, we could do another layer on top if we wanted to add even more texture and more kind of effects to it. So I've got a little bit of the Seth Apter, the Andy Skinner pigments from Cosmic Shimmer. I've got some of the magenta, the primary magenta, and the cobalt teal on my craft mat here. So I'm just going to pick some of that up and apply it onto my gel press. Oh my goodness, look at these colors. Gorgeous. So it's fun to just play with your palette as well, your color palette, and just get different looks. So there you can see the blue has been down on this end, and then we've got more of the pure magenta up top. So this again is just a thin layer. Just water works if you're using water-based products. I don't know if I would dive into any non-water-based products because it might stain your gel press. But I mean, try it out and see. Like, I wouldn't do alcohol inks or anything like that because I'd be afraid of staining it. But then really, if the color's not coming back off, it doesn't really matter if you're staining it, I suppose. Smooth that on there. When you first get it though, it's kind of like a clear acrylic stamp. Like, you want to kind of rub it to make sure your inks or pigments or whatever you're using is going to stick to it. Don't just pull it right out of the package and go. Look at that. My goodness. A very cool print. Oh, I was supposed to do the bubble wrap. Oh my goodness, guys. I should have had lunch before I got rolling here. Okay. There. Roll that on. Grab, I actually have a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer purple. Cosmic Shimmer paint purple. Oh, and look at that. Oh, what a fun effect. Okay. And where have I tossed my bubble wrap? Here we go. And just tap it on there to give it a little look. There's just plain clear bubble wrap. Just some texture. Awesome. So that was a strip from my brayer. And you can keep going. Like I didn't even reload this brayer, and I can do print after print using the same color schemes for projects and just knock out a whole bunch of backgrounds all at once. We can add a little bit more as we go. So there's some of our colors in there. And then why not squidge a little bit of that pearl in and see what that gives us. You can apply directly onto it if you want. Ooh, and then it's giving you some really cool backgrounds to either use directly as a background or die cut or everything. Doesn't that look so pretty and so grunge? Imagine one of the new Studio Light grunge stamps over that. Oh my goodness, gorgeous. And so super simple way to create some really lovely kind of like Lavinia style backgrounds. I mean, stamp a fairy on that and a little sentiment and you're off to the races, really. And it is a really fun technique that allows you to get really creative with it. I mean, the same 3 colors and look at the difference. Like that's a total night sky, little fireflies dancing through there. My goodness. Okay. I will show you one more thing. I don't have a finished card for it, but one more little technique. We can use the stamping pads to actually steal, not the stamping pads, the gel presses, to steal ink from and use it like a stamping pad. That's what I meant to say. So let's go in here with a little bit of blue, little bit, because I want it to kind of turn into a light blue. Already too much. Give it a little swoosh around here and there. Okay. And let's go in with our white. There we go. And I had better, I can't believe I haven't dragged my sleeve through any of this paint yet today. Bell sleeves are a crafter's nightmare. Okay. Clean that up. Dry it off because I don't really need any more moisture on this shimmer paint. Okay, now rub this in, a nice lovely indigo. Get it on there. So now this is a thick layer. You can see what that looks like here in a second. You get those colors kind of blended, but leave some texture on there. Okay. And then I'm going to take a stamp, and we can just use this kind of as our pad to pick color up from. It just needs a light touch, and I should have a larger stamping block, but this will give me enough kind of structure just to be able to pick that color up. So here we go. Nice little, what is this? Hydrangea stamp. And just press it down, pick up that ink. Now it's on my stamp. And I can add that onto whatever card. So you can get some really nice variation in the colors depending on what you apply to your block. And then let's see what it looks like when we pick that up. That thicker color. I don't want to smudge this nice one, but Yes, exactly, Alicia. You can get a negative of like pretty well every technique you do with, oh, so because we had it on so thick, like look at how subtle that is. It kind of squidged into the area that was removed with the stamp, but in a really lovely, soft way. So there's another kind of thing that we can build onto. Lots of fun. And again, continue on, pick that up, pick up the rest of that color and see what happens. Oh, there, the print kind of continues on. So some really fun, different ways. I hope you guys play around with the gel presses. Let me see, let me flip you back here for a second. Have a million windows open. There we go. Okay, so thanks so much for joining. Oh, thanks, Alicia. Glad you guys could all hop on and join us. I hope it gave you some inspiration and maybe kind of a jumping off point for you to play with your own materials. Try it with different colored cardstocks, or not different colors. Well, you can, but different types of cardstocks. Try it with more water-based things. I had a hope of using it with the Cosmic Shimmer watercolor pigments. I think that could be really pretty and make some really cool effects, just the way that it might spread on the gel. So if anybody tries that out, post it in the wholesale Facebook group because I want to see it. And yeah, I hope you have some fun with it. Again, this new Lavinia release will be up on the distributor's website tomorrow. So if there was anything that kind of tickled your fancy, make sure you grab it up, and we will talk to you next Monday, same time, same place. Thanks so much, guys. Happy crafting. Bye.